Alright, what's up? I'm back with another video. I decided to do something different. And I think this might be a little series that I'm gonna make, but if you notice from the title, it's called The Art of Perfect Blocking. Now, I'm gonna do multiple videos, depending on how good this one does. And I'm gonna do like multiple videos, explaining like certain mechanics, certain stuff in the game. Like there's more to it, you know. There's more to perfect blocking than just fucking spamming your step block or rapidly tapping the block button. From my perspective, because I'll say confidently, I'm one of the best perfect blockers in the game. I'll say that with confidence and stuff. I know Baku Star is pretty good at it too. Zombie King is good at it too. So from what I see, from how I view perfect blocking, it's based on how, well, for me rather, on how good you can predict your opponent. For example, like if it's my first time fighting an opponent, I have a lower chance of perfect blocking them than I do against a person that I already know how they fight. It's all a predicting thing. Now, if you ain't like, I don't spam the block button. I don't fucking constantly fucking sidestep block unless you're doing some like bullshit. Unless you're doing it to me or whatever. But yeah, and just like a regular match or whatever, I'll perfect block. I'll time my blocks, especially if I know how you play. So like, if I'm fighting some random for the first time, I'm not pretty sure what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna back hit or key cancel. In the first like 10 seconds of the fight, I'll figure out which one they do, because they'll do it, or they'll like 9 times out of 10 they won't switch it up. But yeah, like I'll figure it out very quickly. I'll see your attack patterns. I'll see how you fight. If I know you fight like a certain group of people, like the people you hang around or whatever, then yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy. Because if you fight like everybody else in that group, then all I gotta do is fight one of y'all, and that's basically all y'all. That's basically all y'all fighting styles. It's just slightly adjusted between y'all, and whichever one can do it better. So if I can beat the best one, if I can perfect block well the best one to beat that fighting style, then the lower people are not gonna really be shit, to be honest. But yeah, I just wanted to address that, and I'll go over some of the footage. I know y'all seeing some footage in the background, and I'll explain that right now. If you notice, while I was fighting Blue Star, that my perfect blocks were kind of like really on point. And like I said before, it's all about a predicting thing. So if you know what your opponent is like gonna do, then it's a lot easier than like trying to predict based off of what you already know, compared to other people, you know. So like if you know that if you're used to somebody like doing certain stuff, or a certain race attacking a certain way or doing a certain combo, then yeah, you can do that. It's like called muscle memory, but it's not as effective as if you like it's from the direct source, because you know exactly how they're gonna do. It's gonna be a little adjusted, whether it's a little adjusted or completely unorthodox from the main meta, or whatever you want to call it, of that race or character or person or whatever. It's a lot different. All right, so look at this footage right here. This is me fighting a male human in the PS4 versus Xbox One tournament. I recorded this moment specifically for that. Just pay attention closely on how I just stay in one place mostly. I sidestep, and I don't tap the block button. Every time I hit the block button, I perfect block right there. All right, that's mainly because I already knew his movements. He's a male human. I know male humans with certain builds, they play a certain way. He's a basic attack male human. Nothing against the person. I know him. I'm cool with him. But just what I'm saying, some things is more predictable than you think. If you fighting a male human at square triangle, then you should know once they do that first hit, then step in right before the triangle goes, so you can perfect block the up kick. As simple as that. And here I'm just mostly like standing in, like not standing in one place, but I'm moving side to side. I'm moving with my stuff so I can get the perfect block. You see right there. And then I'm gonna like, this is the thing about perfect blocking, you gotta predict when your opponent is gonna think you're gonna perfect block. So like when I perfect blocked, he expected me to throw a punch back. All right, you see right there, he expected me to throw a punch straight back right there again, and right there again, even though his back was turned towards me, so he couldn't get the perfect block regardless. If I wouldn't have been as smart as I am, he would have got the perfect block and it would have been tap for tap. All right, but I know that some people rely on the perfect block for perfect block thing that they put in the game in the first patch. All right, since they changed the perfect blocks in the game. All right, you used to couldn't do that. You could double, triple perfect block. You could perfect block somebody's whole combo, but they changed it. All right, so I adjusted, and I realized that if I perfect block somebody, they're gonna try to get it on me, so I'm gonna just bait them out their block, and I can either grab, I can use a move, I can break their guard, I can do a plethora of things. I can go right behind them, you know. So yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. If you notice, I was just moving around to get the perfect block. I knew he was gonna do certain stuff. Um, so yeah, that's basically how my take is on it. You have to bait them out the. You have to, like, it's a mind game sort of thing, you know. Um, you just gotta move around your opponent, abuse what they already know, and try to use it against them. So if they try to follow a pattern, make them unfollow that pattern. Make them use a pattern that they're not used to, and they're gonna get all scrunched up because they're gonna try to compare that pattern that they don't know to something they already know, and that doesn't go good. That's like trying to do algebra homework with geometry. It only works half the time. In this clip with me versus Baku, just one of the people that can perfect block nearly as good as me. You see, in the first 5 seconds of the match, there's 3 perfect blocks right there. 2 from me and 1 from him, I believe. There's another one from him right there. We know each other movements pretty well. We fought each other before, a lot of times before. So we have a good feel of how we're going to fight. You see that eagle kick right there? That's another thing about perfect blocking. That's another thing I want to get to. The frames. The frame data. You got to know your frames, all right? I know it sounds like just saying some random shit, but you gotta know your frames basically. I noticed when I was fighting Phoenix the other day, I'd use burst rush, and he tried to attack me right after I could recover from burst rush, and I got a perfect block. You see, if he would have knew his frames correctly, he would have knew, and it just comes naturally. That kind of knowledge just comes naturally from fighting. If he would have knew that, I would have been able to block right after that recovery frame. So either he attack sooner or grab me or just go behind me, to where if he can predict, like what I was saying before, if he knew that I could recover from that at that exact frame, he would have tried to go behind me because he would have knew I'd have tried to block, and I'd have thought he was going to attack me from the front. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's stuff like that. You got to know your frames. And basically on the eagle kick that I tried on Baku, I did have time to recover, but I just missed the perfect block. I could have perfect block if I was a little bit faster, but there is a perfect block on certain frames. So that's a little bait that I usually use with eagle kick. I eagle kick and I know they're gonna vanish, so I miss. And then as soon as they try to attack me, I get a good distance away from them, and then I step in with the perfect block because I know they're gonna try to attack me because they don't know their frames right, because they don't know that I can recover fast enough. So yeah, it's all about knowledge. You gotta have like that intelligence, like not intelligence as like if you're smart or dumb or fucking stupid. Intelligence Xenoverse wise, your knowledge on the game, your frame data. It's not something you really gotta look at. I know for real fighting games, I know they got like frame data and sheets and shit, and they show shit. In Xenoverse, they ain't got that. You just gotta know your shit, and that's kind of how it is for other fighting games too. They don't. Not all players look at that shit. They just know it from fighting. I mean, granted, if I'd rather just learn it just from doing it. You know, I'm like one of those learners. Some people like reading on stuff and developing their skills like that. So if that's how you are, we all got different styles and shit. But it's just based on how you want to learn it. But for Xenoverse, you really ain't got a choice. You got to fight certain things. That's why I say you shouldn't run from cheap stuff. You should I'm missing the word. You should go to it. Or, you know, you should try to fight it. You should embrace the fucking cheapness, because if you can fight certain things and you get used to that, they won't be able to beat you anymore. And they'll have to find something new. And if you enjoy that type of challenge, then yeah, it's good for you. But yeah, certain things you just gotta fight. If a nigga spamming burst rush, then that's something you gotta get used to. The frames is something you gotta used to. Step blocking, perfect block for perfect block. That I don't know what you want to call it, but it's just something that comes sometimes naturally. Alright, so hopefully y'all enjoyed. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts were. I'll make more videos like this, depending on how good this one is. I'll make the art of sidestepping. You know, just basic movements, not side vanishing or step vanishing, just sidestepping in general. The arts of back hit, the art of key cancels and key stuns. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all later.